I got angry that my roommate was sleeping under my bed for months without telling me. So I moved into this apartment with my friend Austin back in October. We'd been friends since high school, so I figured it would be chill. The rent was split down the middle, and he seemed responsible enough. Austin worked nights at some warehouse job, and I had regular day shifts at an office, so we hardly saw each other anyway. Everything was fine for the first few weeks. Austin kept to his side of the apartment, I kept to mine, and we had this unspoken rule about not bothering each other. His room was right across from mine, and sometimes I'd hear him moving around at weird hours, but I figured that was just his work schedule. But then, weird stuff started happening. I'd wake up in the middle of the night hearing these soft breathing sounds that weren't coming from me. At first, I thought it was just the radiator, or maybe neighbors through the thin walls. Then I started finding crumbs under my bed when I vacuumed. Not just regular dust bunnies, but actual food crumbs like chips and crackers. I thought maybe I'd been eating in bed and forgot about it, but I'm pretty neat about that stuff. Plus, there were water bottle caps under there too, and I only drink from glasses. It was bizarre. The weirdest part was my sleep got worse and worse. I kept having this feeling like someone was watching me, but every time I'd look around the room, nothing was there. Austin's door was always closed when I checked, and I could hear his TV on in his room, so I figured he was just in there doing his own thing. Then last Tuesday night, I woke up around 3 a.m. because I heard this soft coughing sound. Not from the walls, not from Austin's room, but from directly under my bed. I froze completely. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might wake up whoever was down there. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, then slowly leaned over the edge of my mattress. That's when I saw Austin's face staring back at me from under my bed, just lying there on his side with a pillow and everything, looking at me like this was totally normal. I screamed so loud that our downstairs neighbor started banging on the ceiling. Austin just crawled out from under my bed like it was no big deal, brushing dust off his shirt. I was like, "What the hell are you doing under my bed?" And he goes, "Oh, my room gets really cold at night and your room holds heat better. I've been sleeping under here for like 2 months. I didn't think you'd mind." 2 months. This guy had been sleeping under my bed for 2 months without telling me, while I'm sleeping right above him. I felt so violated and creeped out that I couldn't even form words for a minute. When I finally got my voice back, I told him that was completely insane and he needed to get out of my room immediately. He acted like I was being unreasonable and said he'd been really quiet about it, so what was the problem? The problem was that my roommate had been secretly living under my bed like some kind of apartment cryptid. Every night when I thought I was alone, he was literally 3 feet below me listening to me sleep, watching Netflix or whatever else I did in my room. I called my landlord the next morning and found out Austin had been lying about paying his half of rent for the past month. Turns out his room was freezing because he'd been turning off the heat to save money on utilities, money he didn't have because he'd been spending his rent money on God knows what. The landlord gave him 3 days to pay up or get out. Austin tried to convince me to let him stay and just split my room with me, but I told him absolutely not. I changed the lock on my bedroom door and made him move all his stuff out of the apartment by Friday.